You're plugged into Schaumburg Speaks, a podcast highlighting and celebrating local businesses and community in the Schaumburg area.
Hello and welcome to Schaumburg Speaks, where we're plugging into business and community, brought to you by the Schaumburg Business Association and Ian Ryan Interactive. I'm your host, Andrea Beaver, president of the Schaumburg Business Association. And for all of our listeners that are looking to connect with others in a positive way, this episode is for you. Here today is Raghu Sundara, new SBA board member, networking coach, and creator of Always Be Connecting, who is going to share with us what the power of collaboration can do for yourself personally and for your business. So a little bit of background on you, Raghu. You got your first taste of business networking while working in management in the insurance industry, where you were exposed to over 15 chambers of commerce. And after spending nearly 20 years working in corporate America, Raghu decided to open his own insurance agency business in 2018. So you realize that networking is a marathon and not a sprint. And people should not be expecting instant return on their time investing in networking. It also taught him to focus on being a problem solver for people. Raghu started organizing 20 meetups per month with business owners in his local networking community and met with over 1,000 people in 4 years. As a result, Raghu was inspired to open Always Be Connecting to assist business owners in growing their networks in a more organic and in a more organic and sustainable way. Raghu, I am so excited to have you here with us today. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to be working with you. I've been an SBA member for 6 years, and I love this podcast that you have. It is so awesome.
Well, it's going to be even more awesome that you're on it right now. So you are so inspiring. Again, I've only been here for about 90 days, and I see all the people that you bring together and all the referrals that you've brought to SBA. It's been amazing. So let's dive right into the power of collaboration. Raghu, you're known for being the best collaborator and connector that there is. Can you share a story about collaboration with another business owner or somebody that you've maybe met through the SBA that specifically helped both yourself and your business grow?
Yeah, absolutely. I could just go, there's so many different stories, but I'll pick one. Joe and Tina Alarcon, they used to be part of the SBA.
I think they were just here.
Yeah, they were just here. And about 3 years ago, they were coming to some of my networking events with Village Networking. And I was talking to Joe, and he's like, I wish there was a networking event for trades where we can just be ourselves, talk about the good things, talk about the bad things, and help each other grow, be stronger together. And so it was an I wish moment for him. And so I got together with Tina and Joe, and we collaborated, and we actually created Trades Connect. And that was about 2.5 years ago. And we just started doing events every other month right here in the Northwest suburbs, mostly in Schaumburg, at different places like, obviously, different venues, but also like Garage Store was one of them.
Oh, sure.
I remember one of the first events we had was at Jim Markert's place.
Yeah.
We also had it at Poplar Creek Bowl. They're an SBA member, and we're getting 30 to 40 business owners that are in the trades: HVAC, plumbing, electricians, contractors, and the power just came in. The energy in the room. They were identifying opportunities for each other. They were bringing at each other on different projects. And so it helped with my branding because they were wondering, why am I there? Well, right. I was there because I love bringing people together, and with Always Be Connecting, that's what I try to do. I try to be the live version of LinkedIn, and I try to assist other people in being that live version of LinkedIn as well. And so that was just a great partnership. And ever since then, when they moved to Texas, I collaborated with Rocco and Sherry Malfis. They own Crown Coverings. They're also a SBA member. And I just brought them in on it, and we actually started a company called Collars out of it. So it's actually, when you talk about growing Always Be Connecting, and then them growing Paint Integrity, but then even Crown Coverings, we actually formed our own company called Collars, which is an app built for the blue collar worker to help employers find candidates. And it's really about the 18 to 24 year olds to get into the trades. So,
and all of this happened through meeting people and collaborating. And now look at the power of what it brought to you. That is a great story. So how do you determine like the qualities you look for in a potential business partner or even like a collaborator? How do you foster those relationships? How did that just happen? Because for many people, they want that, but it doesn't just happen easily.
Yeah, it doesn't happen easily. It doesn't happen quickly. So those two things, if you're expecting that, it's not going to happen like that. It's going to be more organic. It's going to be about finding people and that match your whys. I always ask about people, what's your why? Why do you do what you do? And finding things that align with your values when it comes to helping clients out or helping the community out. And it's about that abundance mindset. Number one, I like to work
look for people that
abundance mindset on why can't we do something.
And what
together.
is that? What is to you? What does abundance mindset mean? Because that might mean different things to different. But for you, because that's what's
number one, we can all win.
Yeah,
we can all win. Why can't we do this together? Even if it's a competition. So if when I had my insurance agency,
there's lots of insurance agents.
It's so competitive,
right?
And in not everyone, I'm not for everyone, right? If I say I want every client, that's not true. So there's niches.
They're not all going to go with you.
And my closing ratio, I always ask people, what's your closing ratio? Nobody raises their hand when I ask, is anybody's closing ratio 100%? So then what are you doing with those turndowns? The people that you can't win. Are you just letting them go and call somebody else just randomly, or post something on Facebook in search of, or are you going to get them over to somebody else, one of your competitors, when you lose, and then at least
somebody else is winning, and then you both win, and then you all win.
Yes,
yeah,
and then the client will actually refer you other people because you took the extra time. There's a book called Give and Take by Adam Grant. And in that book, there's a chapter called the 5-minute favor. And what that is spending an extra 5 minutes to go over with your client, your prospect, on why somebody else could be a better fit for them. And then calling that other person up and saying, hey, Andrea, this is what Joe brings to the table. This is what they're looking for. Is that something is that a prospect or a suspect for you? Right. I always talk about prospect and suspects.
That's an interesting,
and so
I like that.
It's because it's fun. It's and we're not talking about customers or prospect in a bad way, but sometimes if it's not your niche, it's a waste of time for both people.
And then it's a way you could foster better partnerships with the people that do what you do and just make everybody win.
Absolutely.
That is super cool. So you do that, and obviously that's giving back to other people that you work with. You give back so much to the community as well. And how has giving back shaped Always Be Connecting? How has that shaped your mission, and especially Colors, when it comes to that connecting that right person with that right job?
Yeah. So, how it just in general, I'm going to talk about Giving Group. Mm-hmm. Giving Group is a nonprofit that's based in this area, and it's about pets, vets, and kids. And everybody that's the founding members are actually, we all met at SBA. And we met at SBA about 4 years ago, 5 years, actually, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Got it.
And even before the Giving Group was founded, we did a kickball tournament.
God, I remember kids. Kickball. That's super cool. It was called
kickball for kids, and it
still
still
like baseball, but just kicking the ball.
Yeah, kicking the ball.
Kicking the ball.
And we had it at, I believe the first one was at Dirksen Elementary in Schaumburg, and it benefited 4 charities. It benefited WACO, so Woodfield Area Children's Organization. It benefited District 54 Foundation, Schaumburg Park Foundation, and then Childhood Leukemia Warriors Foundation.
All fits. And
that was the pet initiative, but that was before the nonprofit was even founded by the founding members that are all part of the SBA. We all met there.
Through collaborating.
Yeah. And I wasn't a founding member, but I was there when we were putting the work for that first kickball tournament and raising $10,000 within 3 weeks.
On kickball.
It was so
Giving
powerful. Back. And so when you give back to the community, we all shared that bond of let's give back to the community we grew up in, and let's give back to kids. And it's just the passion. When you share a passion with people, it takes over, and we all just basically lean on each other for what we're actually good at. Right. You know, we had different roles. Some people loved to be the organizer and, you know, the operations part. Some people love to be the fundraiser, and that's what we try to do. We took that to other levels, and you know,
it shaped your mission.
Absolutely, and you know, and then we look at other nonprofits like SLSF, Special Leisure Services Organization.
Good, you're doing good.
Right?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Liz, Ann, and Megan.
Yes.
And you know, when you think about golf outings, who does better golfings than them? So that's just, I'm not even on their board, but they're just good. Those people inspire you to do more, and I can go on and on. Boys and Girls Club, and you know.
So giving back has always been a passion of yours, but you've given that to the organizations that you've created and represented and collaborated with, and all of that.
Absolutely.
Got it. So how is that? So with Always Be Connecting, how like what are some of the give back things that you've done with that organization in addition? And you were saying about founding. What was the name? And I know it's in Schaumburg.
Giving Group.
Yeah, the Giving Group.
Yeah, technically it's based in Naperville, but we do a lot of work from Naperville
because I know there's a lot here.
Mundelein. Okay. And so so as far as that goes, I'm on the board of Giving Group. I was an ambassador last year, and then before that, I was always sponsoring their events. I was helping them fundraise, and you know, it's been around for 3 years, and you know. When you talk about, you know, what are the things that I'm a part of, I was on the TEDx Arlington Heights, one of the founding members of that.
Got it.
As far as a sponsorship program there, and
so it's just your passion.
Yeah, I love giving back,
and that's helped you grow your business.
Oh, totally, absolutely. Because you know, when it gets the word out about Always Be Connecting, and I'm sponsoring it, you know, even like the AM Rotary, the soup cook-off. Yeah. You know, I sponsored that last couple of years. Tom Cunningham got me involved with that, and it's just, that's a great organization. Rotary is so giving, and you know, I didn't realize how much of an impact they make. I just visited a group a couple weeks ago, and it was eye-opening.
It was good. So what advice would you give a small business owner that say they want balance, growth, focused partnerships with community initiatives like you just mentioned? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them that wants to grow their business, but again, wants to give? Like your secret sauce, your secret to success.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I mean, I would start off with something you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about veterans, I know you have. Yeah. You can go on and on about that.
Sure.
And other people are passionate about helping kids or pets. And whatever you're passionate about, start there. Also start with something you're good at. Think about what are you really, really good at, and that takes little energy from you, and maybe bring that to the table. And then also lean in when you're talking to people, when you're meeting with them one-on-one, and learn what their whys are. Why do they do what they do? And then it's going to come right back to you.
You learn their core.
You learn their core. Yeah. You know, you can't relate to an occupation. You can relate to people's stories.
Right.
And the more things you have in common with people, you're going to hold each other accountable, and you're going to actually do things. You're not going to have the first meeting with somebody, the kick the tires meeting. You're going to have that second meeting with them and actually do stuff.
Right.
And don't worry about, you know, what you're doing, as long as you're doing something good, and you know, there's a purpose to it. And then also don't worry about, you know, sometimes, you know, you're doing something, you know, trying to do something, it doesn't work. It's okay.
We all make mistakes. That's how we get successful.
Exactly.
Because eventually it clicks. So that's super advice. So is there a specific moment or collaboration that stands out even more than your first story that was really rewarding in terms of your fulfillment? Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
As we look back or recently that you could share?
Yeah, I mean, so Dr. Michelle Morkert, she's also an SBA member. Her and I collaborate. Yeah, and she is awesome. And so she's a women's leadership coach. She's a trailblazer. And her and I came up with this program called, it's a workshop called Confidence for Connectors. And she focuses on imposter syndrome and head trash and inner critic, I focus on the strategies of networking, like the nerdy stuff that I like about networking.
But she focuses on the feelings or on the
brain science behind networking. The brain, totally. So that's what she focuses on, and we've had so many people go through it, and one of the people that we had go through it, it helped them. Like this was early on too. It helped them get promoted at their job.
See.
Yeah. And then this just a couple of days ago, I just found this out like last night, but a couple of days ago, another person got promoted. They got promoted to a branch manager of their company. Yeah, because their boss was recognizing how much more they're doing in the community through their LinkedIn, and not just things that they're posting saying, buy from us, buy from us.
Yeah.
It was more about posting, hey, I went to this event, I met this person, and we built this partnership. The connection. And so their boss recognized that they were a leader and they were getting the word out. They were not just
sitting at their desk and being on social media, but actually doing something. So in that confidence for connectors, could you give us like the top 3 advice tips, not the whole thing, because we want people to register for that, but just some of the things that you talk about during that course that you guys collaborate on and teach.
Of course. So, we talk about, your inner critic's always going to be there.
Right.
Don't worry about
shut it off sometimes.
You can't shut it off. It's always going to be there. Yeah. So learn to be uncomfortable and learn that it's always going to be there, but try to be yourself, number one. So that's another thing. Be you. Don't try to network like me. Don't try to network like Andrea. If you try to network like Andrea, you're not going to come off as authentic.
Right.
And so also, how do you collaborate even with your competition? We talk about that. We also talk about being interested instead of interesting. Like that book. There's a book, Dale Carnegie wrote it. And when you lean in and you learn about people's whys, and again, that why thing is huge. And then
rather than to try and impress.
Totally. Yeah. And then the Go-Giver book. That's another book that I always talk about, being a good, go-giver and being a problem solver. That's when you're relevant and you're a problem solver, you're relevant. And people, see you as they gravitate. It's contagious. And people are looking out for you. You're looking out for them. And, when you're a problem solver for your friends, your family, and your clients, they'll come to you for everything. And so,
and then by collaborating, you could bring in all the partnerships you've met along the way to help them.
Absolutely.
And then elevate them, including yourself and the
Exactly.
Others. It all works.
Yeah.
Together.
And it doesn't happen all at once. It does take time. That's when you pay for the membership at any chamber, the SBA even, right? It's for the year. So what are you putting in for that year, and what are you wanting to get out of it? And that's really what it comes down to.
Instant gratification, or is it actually doing the work doing it, and then it comes back? You're a prime example. Well, okay, you're leading me into, of course, the next question. How has the SBA been beneficial to growing Always Be Connecting, or some of the other organizations that or your insurance company? How has that been beneficial to Raghu?
It is huge. I mean, within the SBA, I remember the first time, the first event that I went to was Coffee and Contacts, and back in 2019. And I remember thinking, man, that first half hour, and the speaker was great, but that first half hour is the best half hour of networking I've ever had.
And what was it? Like, what was the secret sauce to making that? Was it just the different people, or
people
the
being
feeling?
welcoming? Yeah. The welcoming environment that we have here. And, it's not to say that other chambers aren't good.
Right,
but
right.
What I love here is people turn when you walk. People want to help. And you got ambassadors. The ambassador program here is awesome. Yeah. And it's been like that. So, the first person I met was Rich Eisenhuth.
Yeah. He's
awesome.
Fabulous.
Awesome. Great guy.
Fabulous man.
And so he invited me to join the focus group, which is a referral group, within SBA. Right. And I've been a focus group member for the last 6 years. And, it's so great, even within that group, because we care about relationships. We're friends. A lot of times, we do a lot of things together, even on the weekends. And so we try to do charity work together. And so that's it's just a feeling that you get in the environment
and
that
whether
SBA
it's here
has.
or another, your local chamber, or Always Be Connected, or wherever, if you put in the work, you get it back in spades. So let's bring it again a little bit to SBA. So if a business decides to join SBA, or let's say another chamber, another organization. What is the best tip that Raghu, because I know everybody's going to be listening because they do say you're like the best networker that there is. What is the best tip you could give them once they join? Like, what's like I probably touched on this already a little bit, but what's your secret sauce?
Yeah, it depends on what they're joining for too, but let's just say they're joining to be active and they want to get involved and come to events. The first thing, the biggest tip that I would give them is look at their calendars, 30, 60, 90-day calendars.
So
and plan ahead, look at the calendars, like Savore's coming up, in February. That's a big event.
Yeah.
So have that on your calendar
like,
and start inviting people maybe with your own company and have a purpose. Use it as a team building
and then to be comfortable.
environment.
If you invite other people with you, it will make being a new member, and it will make it a little bit more comfortable because you have a little bit more firing power with more people.
And then even lean on your ambassadors, lean on you and the SBA staff is so great.
Our team, that's what we're here for. Team. Yeah.
They let you know what they're looking to gain, maybe the power partners that they're looking to meet, and you guys are going to make those introductions. Right. Those ambassadors are going to make those introductions for them.
Yeah, and those same goes, and the ambassadors and the members.
Everybody.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of members that act like ambassadors. Yeah, which is awesome.
Right. Well,
that's the beauty of what we're fortunate to have.
Yeah, we've got some great people. So, is there anything else that you could explain a little bit more about Always Be Connecting, about what it is that you do so people could understand in Colliers? Explain to me a little bit more, explain to our listeners a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so even, Always Be Connecting, I have my workshops,
Yes.
Dr. Michelle, I do group coaching as well. But even in individual coaching, I coach nonprofits and for-profits on like the power partnerships, or maybe I help somebody with social anxiety. I don't get into the clinical, but I'm going to be alongside them. I'm going to go with them to events.
Help them grow their business.
And think of me as a business coach who helps them just with the networking strategy part of it.
Okay.
There's other
so they join coaches. A chamber, no matter where it is, they could be part of where. Always Be Connecting. Absolutely. And get Raghu involved to help them grow their business and not have to do it alone.
Absolutely.
You explained about Always Be Connecting. Explain to us what Colliers is.
So just to put it in simple terms, Colliers is an HR app for employers to find candidates, and based on heavily involved into the blue collar sector. So you got HVAC companies, plumbing,
sure,
general contractors,
manufacturing
companies,
welders,
trades,
whatever.
Yeah.
So they could go to Colliers and
subscription based.
Okay.
So
they could post their jobs.
Their jobs, their careers, and then their candidates can do video resumes and other things. There's apprenticeship programs, grants that are on there, resources that we show that's real time, and it's just a resource. And there's much more, but that's just getting started. It's brand new. It's going to be launching here in the next few months.
That's super exciting.
We're almost in beta testing mode, and so I'm so excited about it. Because I love bringing people together, and actually this app does bring people together, so it does fall in line with what I do, and I'm just fortunate to be a part of it. And
it could help them launch their career in our amazing town, Schaumburg. So
absolutely,
that's great. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I know our listeners right now, you all are chomping at the bit. How could I get in touch with this amazing human right next to me, Raghu? How could they get in touch with you, Always Be Connecting, or if you're looking for a job through the Colliers? How could they get in touch?
Yeah, through Colliers. We have it's colliersglobal.net or .com. That's the website. And either one, you can contact me at my email address. That's probably the best one. It's Raghu at alwaysbeconnecting.net. So it's RAGHU at alwaysbeconnecting, all spelled out, .net for networking.
And then also being a Schaumburg Business Association member, you could go to our website at schaumburgbusiness.com and you could find out the information and Facebook pages and all of that. Well, Raghu, this has been so wonderful. Thank you for sharing your insights on collaboration and connecting, and really truly helping to make SBA a wonderful place to work in, live in, and be a part of the community. And so I appreciate your time and efforts just for being here today.
And I appreciate you, Andrea, and the SBA. Without the SBA, I probably wouldn't have always be connecting, and all the people that I know too. It's just the connections are so great.
You're
appreciate
sweet,
it.
but I think you would have all of this and more regardless of us. But if we helped you grow it, that is wonderful. So for all of our listeners, thank you for listening to this amazing podcast today, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a beat on the latest and greatest happenings in Schaumburg. We'll be back with more incredible stories, local businesses, and community updates. And until next time, keep supporting local and stay engaged, and let's keep building a fantastic Schaumburg business community together. Thank you, Raghu.
Thank you, Andrea.